Yum yum, this is yummy seaweed. I'm so glad it grows here for me to consume. Yeah, but do you know how it grows here? No, but why should I care? You should care because what if in the future all the seaweed runs out? You will have no food. How would you know how to grow more? How would you know what the seaweed needs in order to grow? How would your body get the energy it needs? Oh geez, never thought about that. That is a very real problem. Please explain to me how seaweed grows. There's more to staying alive than just knowing how seaweed grows. You have to know how the seaweed gets its food and how your body converts the glucose gained from the seaweed into adenosine triphosphate. Oh shoot, never thought about it that way. Please explain to me how seaweed gets its food and how my body converts the glucose gained from the seaweed into adenosine triphosphate. Okay, first off, you should know the seaweed is actually divided into three categories. The seaweed that you like to eat is actually called green algae. So from now on, I'll refer to the seaweed as green algae. Okay, it all starts with the sun. Sunlight has energy in it. Green algae uses a process called photosynthesis to capture and convert sunlight into usable energy. Green algae uses carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight to do photosynthesis. Wait, how does photosynthesis work? Carbon dioxide from the air passes through small pores in the leaves. These pores are called stomata. Water is absorbed by the roots and passes through the vessels in the stem on its way to the leaves. Sunlight is absorbed by a green chemical in the leaves called chlorophyll. Wow. So after this happens, plants get energy? Does every plant on Earth do this? El correcto. But that's not all. The end results, also known as the products, are glucose and oxygen. Glucose is sugar. Oxygen is released through the stomata of the plant and goes back into the air, where mammals can breathe it, while the glucose is used and converted into adenosine triphosphate, an energy molecule that carries energy. All organisms use adenosine triphosphate to stay alive. So that's where it ends? Plants just eat sugar to stay alive? How do us sharks and people get energy? Well, it's not done yet. Once plants have glucose, they do another process called cellular respiration. This process actually occurs in all living organisms, plants and animals. So for that reason, I'm going to switch over to how cellular respiration occurs in your body. Wow, interesting. Tell me more. So after you eat green algae, the high energy bonds of the food molecules are broken down. The process starts and ends for many organisms at glycolysis. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. During glycolysis, the glucose is split into 2-pyruvate. This process takes 2 adenosine triphosphate to do, but gives you 4 in the end. This gives you a net gain of 2 adenosine triphosphate molecules. Glycolysis can proceed regardless of whether any oxygen is present. Most single-cell organisms just do glycolysis to stay alive. Why do most single-cell organisms just do glycolysis? They just do glycolysis because a net gain of 2 adenosine triphosphate is enough for them to live, but not for us people and sharks. Our body then goes through the rest of the process of cellular respiration. After glycolysis, the pyruvate sugars are transported to the mitochondria, which is commonly referred to the powerhouse of the cell. Here, the Krebs cycle starts. Pyruvate is broken down into NADH, a high-energy molecule, and 2 oxygen atoms are released as carbon dioxide. Then, a molecule called coenzyme A attaches to the remaining molecule, which creates acetyl coenzyme A. This also releases two adenosine triphosphate molecules as well as carbon dioxide. Later, FADH, another high-energy molecule, is also formed. Now we have NADH and FADH. This energy is converted to adenosine triphosphate in the final phase of cellular respiration, the electron transport chain. Wow, interesting. Tell me more. Great. This process also occurs inside the mitochondria. This process uses oxygen. When oxygen isn't present, however, something else forms, which I'll get back to in a second. NADH and FADH are used to power something that functions like a pump. Oxygen, along with NADH and FADH, power the pump, producing 32 adenosine triphosphate and water, which is breathed back into the air. Oh, I understand. This is simple and easy to remember. So smaller single-cell organisms use a simple process called glycolysis because they don't need much energy. Bigger animals like me that hunt need more energy, so we extract more using cellular respiration. But wait, that leaves one unanswered question. What if oxygen isn't present? Yup, was about to get to that. If oxygen isn't present, glycolysis still occurs as it doesn't require oxygen. But in the Krebs cycle, it does require oxygen. Although no oxygen being present doesn't directly stop the Krebs cycle, NADH and FADH cannot form without it. Now in the electron process chain, you can do it without oxygen, but the end results are a little different. In animals, if oxygen isn't present, then an anaerobic process occurs called fermentation. In animals, fermentation leads to lactic acid being produced. In other bacteria, such as yeast, ethanol is produced. That's cool and all, but what's ethanol? Alcohol. That's cool. Yeah, so did you learn anything? I sure did. I'll make sure I use all this information in the future.